Welcome into another episode of Just the Picks. It is the YouTube exclusive video with all things motorsports. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez, and we're both from the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Is this your first time listening to this particular show? It's exactly the way it is. It's Just the Picks, Cody. We just break it down to give you a little bit of our favorite picks on not NASCAR related audio, so our auto motorsports stuff. Jesus Christ, Rod. Yeah, we're here to give you all of our picks for the IndyCar, for F1, for whatever else you think of that's not NASCAR.
Yeah, absolutely. IndyCar starts up this week, Rod. It feels like more buzz than ever around IndyCar this year, which I love. Fox has been promoting it hardcore, especially during Super Bowl, NASCAR, all that stuff. Gotta love it. They kick off their season this weekend for the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Should we jump into the picks, Rob?
We should absolutely jump into the picks, Cody. What do we got first?
Yes. By the way, this is 100 laps, 1.8 mile track. I'm going to start off with Mr. Pato Award. DraftKings has win, place, show over there as options, which I thought was pretty interesting. So show, of course, would be to finish inside of the top three. And I'm going to take Pato Award plus 160. He ended up being the winner last year, finished third place in the race, right? Disqualifications ahead of him, but was in the top three. And then finished second place here in 2023. Very excited for McLaren this year. Excited for Pato. Give me him on the podium, plus 160.
I love it. And I will add on an additional. Caesars gives us a both to finish inside of the top and insert your favorite position here. So I'm going to take Scott Dixon and Will Power to finish inside of the top five. Both of those drivers to do that. 5-1 for this to happen. I got to tell you right now, these are two obviously of the best drivers in the entire sport. Scott Dixon getting it done all over the place, has finished inside of at least the top five in the Detroit Grand Prix earlier in last season, and then third place in the Toronto Grand Prix. All these street courses, he's been very, very effective in finishing inside of the top five. So for Scott Dixon, I mean, this is a guy that lives inside of the top five, and on this particular track at all for Scott Dixon, great success. A seventh place last year, third place the year before that, eighth, fifth, third, second, sixth, third, seventh. String of solid top 10 finishes, and overall 7 podium finishes. His average finish 7.6, just outside of the top 5. So Scott Dixon definitely going to get it done. As for Will Power, I mean, look, it's the same type of individual. He's right there within the same couple of spots of Scott Dixon when it comes to finishing inside the top 5 at St. Petersburg. Second place last year, seventh place the year before that, third before that, eighth, 24th, third. Has a knack for starting on the pole, too. He hasn't done it in a while, but he did it quite a bit starting in the beginning of it. And for Will Power, again, he hangs around the top 5 of these races as well. Will Power finished in 6th in Long Beach. That's the race right after St. Petersburg, by the way. 6th in the Toronto, or in Detroit, rather. And again, another solid finish in the Toronto in 12th place. So, again, these two best in the sport. Got to put them both in the top 5. 5-1 for that. Great number.
Yeah, I like it. It's like the veteran, always they sort of just get it done for you. Not the hot flashy guys, parlay. I enjoy that. Next up for me, I'm going to take over 5.5 Chevys inside of the top 10. This one is minus 105. Look, this one's pretty simple for me. You get the 3 Penske guys. Love all of them. Obviously, Newgarden is the favorite here. McLaughlin, we'll talk about more in a minute. You talked about Power a second ago. You get the 3 McLaren drivers. Pato Award, Christian Lundgaard, Noah Siegel. You get Antonio Ferrucci as well. That's 7 guys right there. You only need 6 of them to finish inside the top 10, not including all the rest of the Chevy drivers out there. Give me over 5.5 Chevy drivers to finish inside of the top 10 at the end of the day.
Absolutely love it. Let's go on with the number of drivers to do a certain thing, and that's going to be drivers to finish on the lead lap. I'm going to go ahead and take the over 18.5 drivers to finish on the lead lap at minus 115. Last year, this did not get done. However, it's actually a little bit of an anomaly where the last couple of years it hasn't gotten done. There's usually been a pretty big crash. But if you look back at the 2022, there were actually 22 drivers that finished on the lead lap. In 2021, there was at least 17. So, I mean, listen, it's probably going to be a very choppy little race, but I still think we can get at least 18 drivers to finish on the lead lap and play nicely. There's definitely a good possibility that can happen. So give me over 18.5 drivers to finish on the lead lap at minus 115.
I like it, Rod. I'm going to jump into the winning car number market. Give me under 8.5 plus 140. Getting this at plus money, I absolutely love that part of it. You get Newgarden, you get McLaughlin, you get um, Pat Award. You also get Malukas, Siegel, Lundgaard, Kiffin Simpson. Those guys are kind of tossed in there, right? Just in case they do something, they're in big rides. But Newgarden, McLaughlin, and Award all at plus 140. I love this at plus 140 for the under 8.5. Then my outright winners, I'm going to go with Scotty McLaughlin, 6-1. He won here in 2022. Started third in 23, was running a good race, had some issues there. Finished third last year and then was disqualified. So obviously it didn't count, but in the race actually ran good there. And really that wasn't something that was an advantage in that race. Anyways, 3 wins last year, 8 podium finishes. He has shown up lately. I think it's going to be a big year for him. And then Scott Dixon, you mentioned him earlier, 12-1. This is my favorite long shot guy because he's Mr. Always There is literally what I wrote down on my notes here. 7th place last year, 3rd place the year before. He's got 4 podiums in the last 8 finishes here. He had 2 wins last year, both of them on street courses. If this turns into a fuel strategy race, whatever the case might be, Dixon's the guy. 5 podium finishes last year also. So yeah, give me Scotty Mack at 6-1 and Scott Dixon at 12-1.
These guys, like you said, Mr. Always There, Dixon, Power, and the guy I'm about to bring up, it's really the price. I know he's the favorite, but listen, I hit gold a couple of times this weekend in NASCAR when we were talking about sometimes you just don't get too cute and you follow the numbers where there are. This is an instance where Joseph Newgarden is the favorite, but he's 4-1 over on FanDuel, which is the best price that you can find from right now. And I think that's a really good price for a guy that's won this race a couple of times already in 2019 and in 2020. And he finished second in 2021. He hasn't been very good since 16th, 17th, 26. So the fact that he's the favorite, I get it, but also he hasn't done this in a while. He did lead 92 laps. He did start on the pole. And that was when he got disqualified, right? So, I mean, he actually did cross the finish line in first, was not able to hold on to that, but I think he could do it again. I think he's hungry to get back into victory lane, and he's got a pretty damn awesome commercial when it comes to these new Fox commercials. But yeah, listen, absolutely love it. But yeah, so give me Joseph Newgarden at 4-1 to win this race.
Yeah, there's no arguing against Newgarden. So love it, Rod. That is our picks for the IndyCar race this weekend at St. Pete. Hopefully the books will continue to bless us with these nice early week looks, but we'll get them out whenever we can in the future. I did want to mention, too, if you're interested in a season-long fantasy, Grid Rivals got their fantasy game out, so created a league for us. If you go over to my X account, at Husker_Zeeb, or the shows at NASCAR Gambling, it'll be the pinned message at the top, and you can get signed up there. A little $10 entry fee, just to have some skin in the game, because that's what makes it fun, Rod. But yeah, let's enjoy some IndyCar this weekend. I'm pretty excited.
Me too. Yeah. Always have fun and have fun with us for free, especially go join us on the Discord where we'll continue to talk more IndyCar, more F1, more NASCAR. So for Cody Zeeb, I'm Rod Villagomez. Thanks for joining us in Just the Picks. We'll catch you next time with more Just Picks.